Good morning, and here is some review on what we stopped off before statistics and working on the volume and surface area of rectangular prisms. So our checkpoint 12.4 is just a quick review of 4 questions in order to remind ourselves on what's going on. So here is what your solid should look like on the copy that did not copy very well on the copier. So identify the solid, and I will wait a few seconds for you to fill that in, or you can always hit pause with a space bar or your mouse. Okay, you should have written down rectangular prism. Okay, because my sides are a rectangle and I have some height. Next question, describe the shape resulting from the cross section. Remember, we took Play-Doh and a piece of floss or scissors to cut through our cross sections to see what it would look like. So here you can see on the screen a piece of paper going through the middle of a cylinder and what shape that would be once I cut and opened up that cylinder. And you would have put rectangle, but spelled correctly. Rectangle, there we go. Okay, next one, number 3. What it should have looked like on your copy. Describe the shape resulting from the cross section. So here I have a cone, and then we've got a piece of paper cutting through that cone. So take a moment to look at it or picture in your mind what that would look like on the inside. And then that would be a triangle. Correctly. Next one. Here we have a shape. It just says identify the solid. So you can pause, look at your notes, look in the textbook, and try and figure out what this solid is before we move on.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass.
So when we look at the base of this 3-dimensional figure, we see that it has a triangle. So it is triangular, and I notice it's got a pointy point. So it's going to be a pyramid. And it's triangular pyramid. I could have any shape at the base. In this case, X, Y, and Z, well, are only 3 points, and therefore a triangle. All right, hope you did well on checkpoint 12.4. I am going to move on to 12.5, which is the next page in that little mini packet for your mini warm-up. It should say checkpoint 12.5, volume of prisms, which we have already done. We're just reviewing just to make sure. So it says, how many cubic feet of water are needed to fill the swimming pool? 24 feet long, 15 feet wide, and to a depth of 5 feet. I will give you some seconds, or please just hit pause to figure it out on your own before I go over the answer. Because if I go over the answer and you don't figure it out, then, well, we just don't figure it out. All right. Got your answer? Awesome. So we multiply 24 times 15 times 5, and you should get 1,800 feet squared, or with a little to the second power above the feet, which is difficult to do on Google Docs. Next one, I'm in quadrant 1 of your volume of prisms checkpoint. Lynn plans to plant a vegetable garden in a rectangular area of her yard. It's 15 feet long. She needs the garden to be a half foot deep, and she has 60 cubic feet of topsoil. She's going to use all of her topsoil. How wide is her garden? So again, we have to remember what our formula is for a rectangular prism, which is length times width times height. So hit pause and try to figure it out on your own before I help for you. Okay, and we're back hopefully. So you have length times width times height. Length, width, height equals volume. So my length I'm given, it's 15. Width, well, is not there, and I'm going to put a big X, which looks terrible, but oh well. And height, it's a 1/2 foot deep, so that's 0.5. And that all equals my volume is 60 cubic feet. So now I want to solve for X. So then I will do 60 divided by 15 times 0.5. Because I just divided both sides by 15 times 0.5, sorry. Divide both sides by 15 times 0.5. So that leaves X on one side and this on the other, which then gives me 8 feet. And does that make sense? Yeah, that seems to make sense. Can I check my work? Of course I can. I can do 8 times 15 times 0.5, which gives me, oh, 60. Okay. Bada boom, bada bing, I'm done. Okay, 15 foot cube or cubic feet. All right, quadrant 3. Again, you might not be able to see this one great on your paper. So take a look at it, take a stab at it and what you know about finding volume of prisms and try and figure it out on your own by hitting pause. Okay, and we're back, hopefully. So again, volume is base times height. Okay, the base of this triangular prism is a triangle. And triangles, the formula is 1/2 or 0.5 times the base times the height, or the base. And then I gotta multiply that by the height of the entire prism. So then I'm gonna do 0.5 times the base, which is 4. You can see that right here. And then the height of the triangle is here, the other leg, which is 4. And I'm going to multiply that by the height of the entire prism, which is 10. I put that all in my calculator. I get 1/2 times 4 times 4. Well, 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 8 times 10 is 80. I don't need a calculator for that. 80 inches, or I'm going to put cubic inches, or since you have a pencil, you can do inches with the third power. Next one, we are in quadrant 4. Find the volume of this figure, which looks like the top of an AT-AT from Star Wars. But anyway, we need the volume of this composite figure. It's 2 figures. So we need to find the volume of my rectangular prism and the one of the triangular prism. So hit pause, try to figure it out on your own, and then I'll go over the answer. Okay, so I have my rectangular prism. Rectangular prism is length times width times height, which is 8 times 3 times 4, which is going to be 96 feet. Volume of the triangular prism. My base is a triangle, which is 1/2 times base times height of the triangle, and then times the height of that prism. It's going to be 0.5 times, I'm going to call this my base, which is 3. It doesn't matter which way in order. So my base 3, my height is 4, which is right here. And I'm going to multiply that by the entire height. The height, again, is from the base to the base, as Meghan Trainor was telling us earlier.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble.
She's so good at that. Height. Height is 4. From base to base is 4. So then that gives me 120 total. Oh, sorry. I'm ahead of myself. That's 24, and that gives me 120 cubic feet.